So let's start today actually laying all the way back. We'll start all the way grounded. So let's lay down, but keep the knees bent. Let's start with the knees bent and the knees falling in towards each other. So bring the feet a little bit wider and let the knees fall in towards each other. And allow yourself to slow your breath. Let your face relax. Let your spine relax. Let it just sort of adjust here for a few breaths to being flat. Now on your next inhale, really allow your low back to come up off the mat, turning your tailbone up towards your head, really finding that space under there. Then as you exhale, nice and slow, tuck your tailbone back down towards your feet and really let your low back find contact with the mat. And continue with that, inhaling, turning the tailbone up towards the head, low back comes up. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under and really flatten the back down. So keep going with this at your own breathing pace. The slower the better here. We're really just sort of taking this natural movement that happens anyway with our inhales and exhales and just exaggerating it a little bit. Making it a little bit more and maybe just bringing our awareness to it some more. See if you can make your breath even slower here. Really concentrate on that. After your next exhale, keep holding that contact with your low back to the mat, but keep breathing. And start to work the feet in closer together. Now keep that contact, low back to the mat, and just pull the knees in towards the body, bringing them just a bit wider here. So the thighs, the knees are more outside the body. Just sort of hugging the sides of the body. If you wiggle your toes, keep breathing. Now, even while keeping your low back down here, think about widening your collarbone. Tucking your shoulder blades under and back, so now your whole back is really pressed down. Now hang on to that. Keep pressing down with your whole back and either staying here or finding a happy baby here. So you can hold on behind your thighs, to your ankles, or to the sides of your feet. But instead of rocking here, we're just going to keep pressing our back down really firmly, really strong in the core. And taking a peek at your legs here, you want your feet to be flexed and your shins, your calves, to be pretty much straight up and down, pretty perpendicular to the floor, as much as you can get them. Now from here, even as you're pulling down a bit with your hands, press up with your feet. So find some strength and resistance here in this pose. Hold on to that nice slow breath. And letting go of the feet here. Keep that strong core, that strong back, and extend the legs straight up. Keeping the feet flexed straight up to the ceiling here. Pressing down with your hips, your back, your shoulders. Pressing up with your legs and your feet. Then nice and slow here, point and flex the feet. The slower the better here. Maybe some popping and creaking in your toes. Really extending out through the toes. Feel how that changes all the way down your legs, just that movement in the ankles. Now rolling from the ankles, make big circles with the feet. Even slower here, find that full range of motion. Reverse the direction. And then bending the knees again. No sweet relief. That makes my feet and legs tired too. And either rock or roll your way up to a seated position. And finding here right away a pinwheel pose. So bringing one leg in the front and one leg in the back. And finding that shin more or less parallel to the front. And then sort of decide how you want to stretch today. Either turning towards the knee and hinging forward that way, or turning towards the foot and hinging forward that way, whatever feels better. So pick one, we're just gonna spend a few breaths there. Nice long spine here. Think about pulling your shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. You want to avoid any sort of hunching here. My 11-year-old just walked by and I saw him pull his shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. Now rise all the way up. Maybe bringing the hands behind here. We're just gonna sort of lean back, bring the feet forward, and then switch. So finding that shin parallel to the front. Whichever one you had in the front at first is fine, it doesn't matter. And then same thing, either towards the knee here or towards the foot. Whichever way feels better for you. Nice slow breath here. Just feel that nice juicy stretch in the hip. We're not staying here for long, just 30 seconds. And then rise all the way up again. Now you can bring the hands behind again to lean back, sweep the legs forward and switch. Now we're just going to kind of keep going with that motion. You can lean back, or for extra credit, you can do it no hands. So just finding pinwheel one side, then the other. Just keep going back and forth. Faster does not necessarily mean better here. You're finding the control in your core and with the legs. Now, if you want to take it even a step further, you can rise up and then back down, and then sweep the legs, rise up. So continue going with wherever you are here. This is a good one to do at beer and yoga, with a beer in the hands. Just a couple more here, maybe one more each side. And then start making your way to downward facing dog, taking your time getting there. There's no rush there. And once you find your down dog, just sort of take your time walking it out here. You can bend one knee and then the other. Boy, my mat is filthy. Just finding that movement here. The first down dog of the day never feels great. Nice slow breath here. Now as you start to settle in, think about really pressing up through the arms. So if your chest is really digging down towards the mat, maybe lifting it just a little bit so you can press up through the arms, really long. And then lift the tailbone, making your spine longer. Down dog, when you're engaged, is a really powerful pose. It's a big pose. Now let's take it wider here. So bring your feet wider in your down dog, maybe to the edges of your mat. And maybe bring your hands just a little bit wider, not too much wider than your shoulders. And then same thing, press up through the arms and lift the tailbone. Breathe. Looking forward, let's walk our hands back towards our feet. Keep the legs nice and wide. A little bend in the knees here. And then inhale, come halfway up, long spine. And exhale, fold forward. Keep that soft bend in the knees. And inhale, arms wide, flat back, raise all the way up. And exhale, hands down the center line. Inhale, arms overhead. Lift the chest a little bit. And exhale, fold forward. Come halfway up, long spine. And fold. Rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down the center line. So one more of these standing salutations. Inhale, overhead. Lift the chest. And exhale, fold forward, keeping that soft bend in the knees, long spine. And exhale here, halfway up. And then fold. Now this time, come just halfway up again. And hold here, but keep breathing. So I'm keeping a small bend in my knees here so that I'm not hunched over. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And think about pulling your shoulder blades back down your spine. Keep breathing. Now on your next exhale, just relax your upper back and fold forward. Inhale, arms wide, flat back, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands down the center line. Now start heel toe the feet in, a little bit closer together. And just decide here how you prefer to take your chair. You can have your feet together, knees together, thighs together, or you can have everything hip distance apart. We don't want knees out, feet in, like you have to go to the bathroom. And we don't want feet in, knees out, like you are going to the bathroom. So choose one, whichever one feels better for you today. And then find your chair. You can have your arms up next to your ears or prayer hands out. I don't care about the arms. Whatever feels good with your arms. Bring your weight back to your heels, maybe even lifting the toes. And on your next inhale, sit down just a couple extra inches here. And as you exhale, come out just those couple of inches. Inhale, sit a little bit deeper. And exhale, come out just those couple of inches. 2 more of those, inhale. Exhale, come out just that little bit. Inhale, sit deeper. Exhale, come out. Now inhale, we're going to stay here wherever feels comfortable. And then exhale, fold forward. And come halfway up. And then walk it forward to plank. Pausing in your plank. Spread your fingers nice and wide. Give yourself a good base. And let's find a little bit of movement here from front to back. So you can press forward on the toes. And then press your heels back towards the mat. Try and keep your hips steady. Don't let them come up or down too much. Just find that range of motion there. And then settle in to whatever feels like the center of that motion for you. The center is where you want to be in your plank. Unlock your elbows. Now let's release the knees and the tops of the feet. Hold here. And slowly bending the elbows, come all the way down. Belly and chest come down together. And inhale to a cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, cobra, chest forward and up, reaching back with the toes. And exhale, release. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, release it. Last one here, inhale to cobra. And hold here, but keep breathing. Keep reaching back with the toes. Elbows are in nice and tight. And then be a curious little cobra and peek over your right shoulder. And slowly turn and look over the left. Keep breathing. Looking back to the center. And then release all the way down. Press up to all fours. And then bring the knees wide, toes together, and sit back in a child's pose. Reaching the arms forward. Keep the arms pretty active here. Keep pressing down with the palms. And on your inhale, really press down with the hands. Allow the chest to rise up. And then as you exhale, really melt down towards the mat. Inhale, activate again. Rise up some. And exhale, melt down. Inhale, rise up. And melt. One more inhale here, pressing through the hands. Just lifting the chest, long spine. And longest exhale, really melt towards the mat. Melt, 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 melt. And stay there, keep breathing. Relax the arms, relax the hands. Relax your shoulders. And come back to downward facing dog. Lengthening your spine here. And bring your right leg straight back. Keeping your hips nice and neutral. Stay here for a breath. Pressing that heel behind you. And as you're ready, draw that foot to the front, even if it takes you a couple of steps to get there. That's okay. And then we're going to stay right here in a runner's lunge. You can have your fingertips down, you can use blocks or books, or you can just let the fingers just sort of hang. Whatever's going to feel best for you here. Lengthen your spine. That right hip is pulling back and in. There's a bit of a squeeze on the legs here, like you're trying to squeeze that front heel and the back toes towards each other. And then release your left hand down. And then bring the right arm up in a twist. Keep your legs nice and strong. And breathe, your face is soft. And then looking down. Release the right hand down, back to runner's lunge. And then lift the left arm up. So we're twisting in the other direction, opening your chest towards the left. Breathe here. Looking down, release the left hand and step back to plank. And pause in your plank, inhale. And on your exhale, release your knees, your thighs, your stomach. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, release. Then press up through all fours to downward facing dog. And start slowly bringing that left leg back. Neutral hips. Stay here for a breath. And as you're ready, start to bring that foot to the front. Whatever it takes to get it there. We have that ankle under the knee. And then just pausing here in your runner's lunge. Breathing, long spine. Being careful not to really fall down into this lunge here. You're going to press up out of gravity a little bit. Keep it nice and strong. Find that squeeze, front heel and back toes squeezing towards each other. And then staying down on the right hand or on a block if that helps you open more. And you're going to open towards the left. Towards that front leg. And breathe. Keep resisting the urge to sink into those hips. Keep it nice and strong. And looking down, release that left hand outside the foot. And we're going to twist the other direction. So bring the right arm up. Nice soft face, breathe. Looking down, step it back to plank. And give yourself a nice pause in your plank, a nice slow inhale. Then on your exhale, release your knees, your thighs, your stomach. Find a nice cobra. And release. And press up through all fours. And find downward facing dog. Breathe here. Looking forward, just walk to the front of the mat. And then inhale halfway up when you're here. And exhale, fold. And flat back, rise all the way up. And exhale, per hands to the heart. Now hold here for a sec. Just come back to your breath. Stand tall in mountain pose, rooting down through the feet. Keeping your prayer hands to your heart. Root down into your left foot. And then just lift the right knee. Find your balance here. And then slowly start transitioning here to Warrior Three. You can keep your prayer hands at your heart, or if it helps to balance, bring them out to the side. Bringing them forward next to the ears is the most challenging. And then rise up again, pulling that knee forward again. Try to hold on to that balance. And then come back to Warrior Three. Keeping your hips nice and neutral here. Long spine. And then come back, knee forward. And give yourself one more, Warrior Three. And then rise all the way up, pulling the knee forward. I know that bottom leg is burning. Now pull that right knee out towards the right. And to the front. Just two more of those. Pull it out to the right. And to the front. Strong balance here. One more to the right. Back to the front. And you're free. Shake out that left leg. Now bringing the feet a comfortable distance apart again. Starting with your prayer hands to your heart. Root down into the right foot. And then just lift that left knee. Find your balance here. Now this is my bad side. Everybody has a better balancing side. This is not my good side. And then try to slowly transition here to your Warrior Three. Keeping the hips nice and neutral. When you lose your balance, just come right back. And then slowly rising up, pull that knee forward. And then find your Warrior Three again. And then slow and intentional, rise up, pull that knee forward. And last Warrior Three. And then rise up, knee forward. Hold that balance. And then keep standing on the right leg and just pull that left knee out towards the left. Keep your hip bones pointing forward. And then back to the front again. So you don't want to move the hips here, just the leg. Out to the left. It's only going to go as far as it's going to go. And then to the front. And then once more to the left. And then to the front again. And then release that foot. Shake out the right. Maybe put some life back into the hips. And let's face the side of our mat. Bring our legs wider. And turning the toes out. So the toes and the kneecaps are facing the same direction here. Now finding a bend in the knee here to goddess pose. Just give yourself a little bit of side-to-side motion here. So you sort of settle into it. And then settle in to the center. Now to try and keep ourselves from scrunching down into our shoulders here, Let's bring our arms up, goalpost arms. And then turn your palms to face each other. Sometimes I have to look at them to make sure they're actually facing each other. Maybe sitting just a little bit deeper. Relax your face. Keep holding the legs, and then bring your arms, your elbows towards each other in front of your face. And then open again. 2 more of these, nice and slow, as though there's something resisting, that you're pressing against something. Together. And then resisting as you open. 1 more. I know your thighs are tired. And open. Release the arms, raise all the way up. And turn your toes just slightly in. So your feet are either toes in or toes straight forward, whatever feels good for you here. And just find a space here where your legs are just wide enough that even just standing here, we have just a little bit of a stretch happening here in our upper thighs. Now that'll look different on everybody. And go ahead and bring your hands behind. Either interlace your fingers or just hook your thumbs. Whatever feels better on your shoulders. You want your shoulders to still pull back. Unlock your elbows. And then start to hinge forward here. Breathe. Nice long spine. And then reach your hands straight up to the ceiling. So really reach. And then unlock your elbows again. That's the hard part here. Soft breath. And on your next exhale, let the arms just hang as far as they naturally want to towards the floor. So stop reaching straight up and just let them hang over towards your head. Don't force it. And slowly, carefully, come halfway up. And release the hands, bring them right underneath the shoulders. Your spine is really long here. And then bring your hands closer to each other. And on your inhale, reach your right arm overhead, opening in a twist. And as you exhale, bring it back down where you started. And then inhale the left open. And exhale back to the front again. Now keep going with this at your own breathing pace. Inhales, you're opening. And exhales, coming close. If you want more of a twist here, then you can bring the opposite hand to opposite ankle and twist open that way. You're still inhaling open and exhaling your way out. So whatever feels best for you. I tend to really like the way the center one feels better, but that's my body. Let's give ourselves 1 more each side. And when you're your next inhale, come halfway up. Really long spine, hold your breath. Keep holding your breath. Bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze your elbows back like you're squeezing a basketball. Exhale, rise all the way up. And then heel toe the feet in. And come facing the front of the mat again. Bringing the feet wide. And let's sit all the way down into Malasana, garland pose. Elbows just inside the knees here, pulling the spine really long. And there tend to be two kinds of people in the world. The kind that could sit here and eat dinner. I like to watch my son pitch this way. I tend to get off the bleachers and sort of panic down in this position. But then you have the people that just hate it. Their heels don't go down. This is really awkward for them. And it's a lot more work. So if you're in my camp, and this actually feels pretty simple and easy for you, then I'm gonna make it not so easy. If this is relaxing for you, then really step into it. Like you're trying to lift out, almost as though you're trying to stand up, just a little bit. You're just coming out of those joints a little bit, using those muscles. Now we're all closer to the same level of discomfort. Breathe here, just a couple more breaths. And then slowly, we're going to release our seat all the way back. It's not necessarily graceful. And we're just going to hold around our knees here and bring ourselves from this sort of, we're sitting, to sitting. So really nice and tall, shoulder blades closer to each other in the back. And this is a lot of core work just here. Just pulling tall is working your core. So you can stay right here, or you can rock back just a bit and lift the feet, keeping the calves parallel to the ground. Now what we don't want to do is start slumping into it. So if we get to the point where we're slumping, then just come back a step. Now no matter where you are, feet lifted or feet on the ground, release your arms. Reach them forward. And just turn your body and your arms towards the right, keeping your spine long. And then take it slowly to the left. And then to the right, just one more each side. And to the left. And back to the center. And then slowly release everything down, all the way back. And just give yourself a couple of breaths here. Just let your body have this. Let your spine relax. And then start bringing your left leg down flat. And then pull your right knee in towards the right shoulder. So just think more shoulder than chest here, just slightly outside the body. And that extended leg, the left one, flex that foot. Pull the pinky toe back towards the knee. Maybe even pressing that heel just slightly forward. Maybe wiggle the right toes. And then that bent right knee, just pull it out to the right, just as far as it wants to go here. And hook that hand behind the right thigh. And then start to straighten that right knee. It doesn't need to straighten all the way here, just as much as your body wants to straighten. And then point and flex that foot again, just like earlier. Foot mobility is so important. And bending that knee again. And coming back to the center and pulling across the body towards the left. Roll onto that left hip, but stop here about halfway without bringing that knee all the way to the ground. Then extend that right arm out, palm up, and look to the right. Really think about letting your back ribs fall heavy, your shoulder blades fall heavy towards the mat. Really sinking down there, letting all that relax. Coming back to the center. And just switch sides, bringing that right leg down flat, pulling the left knee in. And a few breaths here. Keep that right leg strong, flexing that foot. Maybe pressing that right heel forward some. Relaxing your face here. If you're clenching your jaw, squeezing your teeth together, stop doing that. And then pull that left knee out to the left, just as far as the body wants to go. Hook that hand behind the thigh, and just start to straighten that knee. Just as far as it wants to go here. Don't force it, don't lock it. And then slowly pointing and flexing that foot. And bending that knee again. And pulling it back through center, across to the right. Roll onto that right hip, but stop here about halfway with that leg. Then extend the left arm out, turn that palm up, and look to the left. And think about breathing behind your heart. Breathing, expanding those back ribs, letting the shoulder blades fall heavy. Coming back to the center. And then bend the right knee, pull it up to join the left. And then rocking a bit here from side to side. If it feels good here on your spine, you can try rocking front to back. It's always an option. And if you want to add another happy baby to sort of bookend class, then you can do that, and you can rock in it this time. Finding that little massage on your lower spine, your lower back muscles. As you're ready, start making your way to your Savasana, your corpse pose, using whatever props you like, whatever you have on hand. And giving yourself a moment here to really adjust, to really see what your body needs. What can you do to be even more comfortable? And then really allow yourself to settle in. Relaxing the face, the tongue, your fingers and toes. And bringing here gentle awareness to the bottoms of your feet. And imagine that you can inhale through the bottom of your feet and exhale through the bottom of your feet. And bringing that same gentle awareness to the backs of your knees. Inhale through the backs of your knees. And exhale through the backs of your knees. Bringing that gentle awareness to your lower belly. Inhale through your lower belly. And exhale through your lower belly. Bringing that gentle awareness to the front of your chest. Inhale through the front of your chest. And exhale through the front of your chest. Now bringing that gentle awareness to to the top of your head. And imagine inhaling through the top of your head and exhale through the top of your head. Finding small movements with your body. Fingers, your toes, your face. Bringing your awareness back to your limbs, back to the mat. Taking your time as you're ready. Maybe bending one knee and then the other, rolling to either side. And as you're ready, making your way back to a seated position. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. Let them relax even more. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your space, your breath, your practice. Namaste.